Hi everyone, Claire Jackson here again, sharing another technology tool. Um, Screencastify is actually what I'm using to share Screencastify. So I just wanted to give you a quick little tutorial about how I use it in the classroom. As you can see on my screen, this is like the main page for Screencastify, but it is a Google extension. You can see this is red because I'm recording right now using it. You can see on the bottom here as well that it's sharing my screen. This is something I really use a lot in the classroom. If there is a particular lesson that I'm teaching that is really important, like a skill-based lesson that students would need to reference back to, I use this while I'm teaching the lesson, and you can have it in the background without it being super distracting for students. And you can post the recording to Google Classroom, which I think is fantastic, so that they can go back and look at it. Another way I've used it is if there's a project or something that has a lot of like lengthy directions that students would need repeated. I would record myself kind of modeling the project itself, showing examples, and I would post that to Google Classroom as well. But it's also a really great feature for those who need accessibility because there's a lot of tools that you can use afterwards to edit your video that would actually be beneficial for that. So I'm just going to show you. You can use it just like you would any other kind of video editing tool. You can have there's extra features down here where you can um, start the webcam. So I obviously don't have it on right now, but you could also film yourself kind of in the corner, kind of like you would like via Zoom or Google Meet. So you could have yourself in the picture if you'd like. There's other things that you can add, some sort of like similar like smartboard like features that you can do while you're presenting as well. All of this is free. The base extension is free. My school pays for the pro edition where you have unlimited storage. So that's pretty much the only difference between having a free account and having an upgraded account, which is the storage, which I actually really appreciate because I use it a lot more than I thought I would. And I think you only get like 10 videos or something if you have the free account. But I'm going to show you how to get to what it looks like when you have an account. And then you can see kind of some of the features you have when you edit. So obviously you have the extension up here. You can see that I'm recording. But when you would pull this up, you would be able to see, you can set it up where you have the webcam accessible or you don't have the webcam accessible, that kind of thing. So it's really nice to have it just right there at your fingertips. If it's going to let me get to my videos, it looks like I have a little slow connection today. It's gonna let me get to here. Let me see if I can reload here. Technical difficulties. There we go. Okay. So you can see that I actually used it for my last educational tool when I was sharing Edpuzzle, but I have so many other things that I've used it for. So you can see like I had this was like some directions that I used to like create something for a hyperdoc, or you can have test prep. So like I was doing some review during a class, and you can do it during different periods. So you can see that I kind of use this here. I'll just click on this. It'll pull it up. Sorry for my slow connection. All right, so once you're done videoing yourself, you can hit stop and it'll actually pull this up automatically. But you have here some different ways to like simply edit. It's not really super technical. You could go into edit video and you could make it really, really like, you can cut certain things, only take a certain section or something like that. But for the basics, it just automatically starts playing. You can cut, like if you started and stopped, or at the end of the lesson, if somebody was asking a bunch of questions, you could cut that out and just have just the instructional part. So that's kind of just your basic like cropping feature here. But some of the other things that I like on this that I use a lot are like the captions. So you can add captions afterwards to your video, so that, I've had a lot of deaf or hard of hearing students that need the captions for any kind of video I use. And so this is a really nice way to be able to add those afterwards without, me having to think about it. You could add questions. You can tag your standards. The AI assistant is pretty cool too. That's something new I haven't really played around with yet, but it's there. The share settings, you can share right to Google Classroom. So as long as your students have access to it, you can do that. You can send it via email. So I use sometimes that feature, like if a student's absent, I'll send them an email with the lesson attached. And then you can also use these to post on like your classroom website. So like I did this when I was out on maternity leave at the beginning of the year. I used it to introduce myself to my parents and my students and let them know that I was on maternity leave. So there's lots of different features you can use that's really great for both accessibility and both just, time saving tips that you have, that are a little bit more easily accessible for your teachers and for students. A lot of my students have actually used this because they have access to this extension as well through school, to video some projects and things like that. So it's a really great tool. I love it a lot and use it a ton. And I know a lot of my coworkers do too. So something to think about, to recommend to your colleagues when you're a school librarian, that would be really helpful for them to use in the classroom.